be honest, I probably wouldn't actually enjoy what people go to Vegas to do, because I'm not old enough.
You have everything you need there, but you don't have nothing to see.
The thing is, I love Spanish music, but nobody sings Spanish music. Honestly, I can't understand why we're not going there.
I'm still in school, so I'm taking my A-levels. Yeah, I mean, my favorite subject is probably, say math, I guess.
Wow, my favorite childhood memory.
I don't know why, it always sticks with me. I think my 4th or 3rd birthday, and I had like a Cars cake, so I think that's what made me remember it. Like, I don't remember anything else about when I was young. That's the main thing that I remember.
Probably a trip to New York. I loved New York. I want to live there. Okay, for racing, it's not the optimal place to live, but I want to live there at least 1 year in my life.
I think maybe the first time I jumped on a thing with wheels in general. It was a quad bike. So it was the first time I actually drove something with a bit of speed, and I remember I loved it. My first experience with adrenaline, I think, was what got me a bit into racing as well.
Probably just like playing like outside on the street, like with my sister and all our like kind of friends in the neighborhood. We had a tree house we used to play in, and this little stream we used to jump over and stuff. So I think, no, that's probably one of my best childhood memories.
I was quite annoying at a young time, and I was crying a lot. My dad put me onto the car and I stopped crying straight away. He put me onto like a small BMW, and then I just stopped crying because I like fast cars. So.
Watching Monaco Formula 1 in 2008. I was a little kid, had my headphones on because I didn't like the noise. Probably didn't actually watch the race because it was too noisy. You know, I look back on that and that was a very special moment for such a young kid as well.
The first time I drove a go-kart, I think I was 4 years old. I asked my dad many times to drive a go-kart. He tried to put me into other sports, which are maybe easier and less dangerous, but I really wanted to drive go-kart, so yeah, quickly in love.
Just had a fun childhood, did a lot of sports as well, had some good relationships with friends, and then started karting, which probably is also one of my fondest memories, being there with the family, with my brothers, and fighting each other on track, doing stupid things as well, but that was fun.
Probably the first time I went in a go-kart, to be honest. Best time of my life as a little kid, and I remember it super well, which is crazy because how young I was.
I would definitely go for the 90s and early 2000s. I think that's the most iconic F1 period.
I'd like to go up against Schumacher, or maybe I wouldn't. I think the cars were obviously very loud back then. Way of life was a bit different as well.
80s, the 90s, because I think, let's say, everything was more natural. It'd just be the instincts, no?
I would go into the Ayrton Senna because I think the quality of the driving was very high, and it was more pure. It was more about driving than anything else.
Probably like 2007, 2008, 2006 F1. The car started super cool, and you still have like the modern technology and aero.
I choose the early 2000s. The racing looked so interesting. The sound was very nice. The cars were very fast.
I don't know exactly what year it is, but I would do the McLaren F1 car when Hakkinen was driving in his car. Quite like that one. It looks good and the sound was good as well.
The early 2000s, I think those cars were just insane, screaming engines. It was absolutely incredible, and the downforce those cars produced, that they had to go on cut slick tires, you know, because they were too fast, that's pretty cool.
I'm originally from Barcelona, but I lived in Ibiza and Madrid. But yeah, Barcelona is like the best city in the world for me because it has the beach, it has the mountains nearby, and also the culture is amazing, and the food especially.
I grew up in New York. That I still consider that home for me. Always really enjoy looking forward to going back home to the States, New York, during the off season. Grew up in the city, so like for me, I just see that as home.
My hometown is close to Helsinki. It's really small. You have everything you need there, but you don't have nothing to see. In Lohja, that's called Lohja. It's just a simple, small town in Finland.
I live in Copenhagen in Denmark. The winter is a bit dark, cold.
but the summers are nice. I feel like there's always a nice atmosphere in some of the old parts of the city.
My hometown, it's really hot. Yeah, I love it. Normally we don't have winters. I mean, our winter last year was 35 degrees. I love the heat, you know, everything. It's on the mountains, on the north of Mexico.
I really love Singapore because I miss the food all the time. I think I was in London like a week ago and I went to have the food there, but it's nothing like back in Singapore. So yeah, I really miss the food there. And of course, all my friends and family are there. So
my hometown in the Netherlands, it's quite like a small town. It's in between Rotterdam and Amsterdam. There's a lot of nature, so that's very nice. And yeah, it can be busy when you want it to be busy, but it can also be nice and quiet.
I'm from Hamburg, which is quite a big city in Germany, but I live more on the countryside, so it's a bit calm. Yeah, I really enjoy it, you know, coming back home from a race weekend and having some calm days is very nice.
Well, I'm a big fan of football, so living in Saint-Etienne, that's a typical football game and typical city for football. So
pretty cool to represent Thailand, and I'm proud to represent Thailand. Bangkok is super chaotic and crowded, as you know, and there's also the beaches in the south that are really chill, so I think there's different vibes to the whole country.
It would be either Hockenheim or the Nürburgring, two cool German tracks, and I'd like to have a home race. I think we have to have one in America. I think if we should go to America, since we go to Melbourne, we go to Bahrain, I think we can go to America as well.
Or 3 Formula 1 Grand Prix in America, so any 3 of those I think would be pretty cool. Maybe Las Vegas could be cool to go to. To be honest, I probably wouldn't actually enjoy what people go to Vegas to do, because I'm not old enough. Mugello I like a lot as a track. It's super fast and flowing. Then also you get good Italian food, so that's a plus. Macau is the track is unbelievable. The risks you have to take is something else. The adrenaline you get is crazy, so I think if we could race there as an official F3 race would be unbelievable.
I think Suzuka. The track looks really nice. I think the whole experience of Japan would be very nice.
Mexico, 100%. I was born in there. I would like to drive in front of all my fans, all my people, you know. For me, I've never drove close to my family, friends, and all the people that support me. They always watch me through TV, so now to have the chance to drive there with everyone inside the track will be great.
I would do Mugello in Italy. I mean, we already go to Italy, but another time wouldn't be too bad. I think if not my favorite racetrack in the whole world.
It will be the United States, because I like to race there. I really enjoyed Daytona when I raced there this year, so I would say that track.
Suzuka, Japan, easy choice. Just the combination of going to Asia, going to Japan, but then also just the nature of the circuit itself. It's so like fast and such a flowing circuit. Honestly, I can't understand why we're not going there.
Maybe like a Bruno Mars song or Maroon 5. The thing is, I love Spanish music, but nobody sings Spanish music. So I don't really want to choose that.
There's a playlist between me, Hugo, and Arvid. So we all have a playlist together. So we all listen to the same songs before the race pretty much. But yeah, we just have a lot of random stuff on there. Umbrella by Rihanna, that's quite good.
Obviously it's early starts in Formula 3. Wake up at 6 a.m, have breakfast, go to the track, and then to get us a bit more hyped up, as you say, a bit of Drake sorts everything out.
Might be 8 Mile, but from Eminem, but 8 Mile I think is like my hype song, might be my hype song, yeah.
I wouldn't say I do, but my teammates, they play some music and that's pretty different, but I don't really have a choice, so they've got a speaker.
The phone, I think, is probably, I think everyone's invention that's improved their day-to-day life. I don't think I could live without my phone. Maybe the steering wheel, actually. This is true. I wouldn't be a race car driver without it. So actually, I take it back. The steering wheel is more important.
I don't know. To be honest, I feel I am really basic. I like to do sport. I don't need too much. I just need shoes. Maybe a racket to play paddle or something like that.
I would say the phone. Yeah. Oh yeah, the wheel. The wheel. God, what a great invention. Yeah, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the wheel.
It's not really an invention, but something that I've done recently, cold showers. People say they can't live without their phone, headphones, I don't know, car. I can't live without cold showers.
Oof. I'm pretty convinced a lot of are gonna say Schumacher or Senna. I would say Senna, but just to be different, I'm gonna say Alain Prost. It was really aggressive, so I think would be very interesting to race him. So I would like to see how it is.
I have to say Max Verstappen just to see how he drives in the wet. I needed that yesterday, so trying to work out how he's so good and let's say learn a lot from him.
I would say another one is better. I think the first world champion, Farina.
I would say Senna because for me he was the most talented and the best driver that they had.
I don't think it counts, but if I can time travel to 2005, but like not just time travel, but get in a different universe, I will race against Lightning McQueen.
Probably Schumacher. I think he's the most decorated driver in Formula 1, other than Hamilton, obviously. And I respect him a lot. And I mean, if there was one driver I'd like to race, it's probably him, yeah.
Senna when he was in the McLaren, probably because of how much I've heard of him growing up, of his history and how much he's achieved in sports. Obviously I was too young to see him actually race, so I would like to go back to experience that.
Yeah, I don't really think on the past. I'm just thinking on the future, and maybe I am thinking on what will be in the future, and maybe for me in the next categories or F1. So I am looking forward to it.
I'd say mechanics because it's quite like hands-on. Yeah, I kind of like the approach of that. I wouldn't say engineer because just, numbers all day, calculations. Don't tell my engineers that, please.
Probably, well, I don't know, I like my job. But maybe like with my engineer, but just for a day. I don't really want to be like a professional engineer. But yeah, just to see how things work more specifically, yeah, I'll do that.
I'm actually going with one of the mechanics, just to see how it is to be kind of like on the other side. Because you never really think about it, you don't really know how it is from their point of view.
Marshall, maybe. Maybe it's a different point of view.
Probably media person. Because then, I don't know, I think it's just an interesting job, You get to ask people questions, and I think you have a lot of stories to tell at the end of the day, so yeah.
Driver number 12, and I have it. It's always been my favorite, so I'm lucky this year.
1, I drive with 1. And second, 15, which I always use, but I mean for this year I had the chance to drive with 1 and I took it. I've always used 15 during my career when it was possible, because I was born the 15th of September, so it's kind of the number I always used.
4. Because I'm not superstitious or anything, but I'm born on the 4th of March 2004 on a Thursday, which is the 4th day. So I've always had 4, but yeah, this would be my, let's say, lucky number.
5. Because I was born 5/5/2005. Luckily this year I'm number 5, but last year I was as well number 5, where you can choose the number.
For sure 77. I used to have the 7 in karting, or always a number with 7. This year I got a 7 again. So lucky me there. 7 is kind of my lucky number, and to have 2 of them is more luck than just 1. It's also quite nice to combine it with my initials, the TT. So yeah, it looks cool like on a logo or something.
This one is quite easy, number 34, because first my grandfather used to have it when he used to race in rally and rallycross when he was a bit younger, and same with my father. He took it from him, of course. So he used it in karting and some Formula cars and rally, and then when I started in karting, I just used that as well.